I'm going to read this story even different still than any other that I've ever read. I'm going to read part of the story, then I'm going to sing the song, then we'll read the rest of the story. Actually, I'm going to start with the bottom part, and I'll sing the song and read the top part, so stick around for the ending. We'll start here, where it says, in later years, from the story portion that I'll read you after singing, Mr. Gabriel would often relate the story of the man who had given him inspiration for the song. The man's name was Ed Card, who ran the Sunshine Rescue Mission in St. Louis. Ed's life had been dramatically changed when he met Christ. From a sullen, dull, vindictive individual, his life had become one radiating the love and power of the gospel. Along the way, friends took his new radiant face and the word glory, which had become such an important part of his vocabulary, put them together, and from then on Ed Card was known as Old Glory Face. I've read this story as I've sung this song before, so if you find some of my other singing of this here on the Family Bible Time channel on YouTube, search it up, you'll hear more of the story than what's relayed here. Ed Card lived long enough to see the song that he had inspired become the most popular gospel song of its day. And Charles Gabriel went on to become one of the outstanding gospel song composers of all time. Favorites to his credit include His Eye is on the Sparrow, words written by, I can't remember how you say her first name, Cavell Martin. She was from my area of Binghamton, New York, and the song was inspired by a lady who lived in Elmira, New York. His Eye is on the Sparrow. And we're going to be doing that song coming up later in this book. Also, Mr. Gabriel, Charles Gabriel, wrote, Since Jesus Came Into My Heart, the music to that, The Way of the Cross Leads Home, and a host of others. Alfred B. Smith. When all my labors and trials are o'er, and I am safe on that beautiful shore, just to be near the dear Lord I adore, will through the ages be glory for me. Oh, that will be glory for me, glory for me, glory for me, when by His grace I shall look on His face. That will be glory for me. When by the gift of His infinite grace I am accorded in heaven a place, just to be there and to look on His face, will through the ages be glory for me. Friends will be there I have loved long ago, joy like a river around me will flow, yet just a smile from my Savior I know, will through the ages be glory for me. Oh, that will be glory for me, glory for me, glory for me, when by His grace I shall look on His face. That will be glory for me. The year was 1899. A gospel song composer had just finished writing 11 songs, which he hastily put into an envelope with a letter to Mr. E.O. Excel, a publisher in Chicago. The songwriter's plight was that he needed money, and Mr. Excel had often bought songs from him for prices ranging from $1 to $3 apiece. This was not too bad a sum when one realizes that a week's wages in those days was often only $5. To make sure that more than one song would tempt Mr. Excel, Gabriel had offered him the whole lot for $1 each. Upon receiving the songs, Mr. Excel gave them a quick look over. As he said later, he chose 10 of the songs, but decided that number 11 was unusable, for it just seemed to have too many black notes. Mr. Excel took this remaining song, and with a $10 check sent it back to the writer, who in turn was so pleased with the $10 check that he sent the song back to the publisher free of charge. History does not tell us the names of the 10 songs which Mr. Excel had kept, but the Christian church around the world has echoed and re-echoed the strains of number 11. For who hasn't sung the Glory Song? Or, Oh, That Will Be Glory for Me, written by Mr. Charles H. Gabriel.